The message was short, tender, and devastating in its simplicity. "I miss you, Bob." Just 4 words, shared quietly, but they carried the weight of years, of laughter echoing down studio hallways, of late-night conversations that stitched together friendships few outsiders ever see, and of a loss that still doesn't quite make sense. For one General Hospital alum, the passing of Bob Saget wasn't just the loss of a beloved comedian or television icon. It was the loss of a friend who understood the strange, beautiful chaos of life in show business, and who never forgot to lead with kindness. In the public imagination, Bob Saget will always be Danny Tanner, the sweater-wearing, pun-loving patriarch of Full House. But those who knew him best insist that role only hinted at the depth of his heart. Behind the sharp stand-up, the fearless roast master, and the quick wit was a man deeply attuned to other people's pain and triumphs. For actors who grew up, or simply survived, in the relentless rhythm of daytime television, Bob was a kindred spirit. He knew what it meant to perform on cue, to juggle sincerity with spectacle, and to show up even when the world felt heavy. The General Hospital alum remembers meeting Bob years ago at a charity event, the kind where smiles are mandatory and conversations are often fleeting. But Bob lingered. He asked questions. He listened. He made a joke that cut through the awkwardness and then followed it with something unexpectedly sincere. You could tell, the alum later reflected, that he cared about people more than he cared about being funny, even though being funny came as naturally to him as breathing. Their friendship grew in the in-between spaces of Hollywood life, backstage corners, quiet dinners after loud events, text messages exchanged during long shoots. Bob had a way of checking in that never felt performative. He remembered details. He followed up. And when the pressures of daytime drama, where storylines are relentless and public scrutiny can be unforgiving, felt overwhelming, Bob's voice on the other end of the phone was grounding. He reminded his friends that fame is fleeting, that ratings rise and fall, but character lasts. What struck the General Hospital alum most was Bob's generosity. Not the headline-grabbing kind, but the private kind that never seeks applause. He showed up for benefits without cameras. He donated quietly. He mentored younger performers without ever positioning himself as an authority. Bob made you feel seen, the alum said. In a business that often makes you feel replaceable, that was everything. When news of Bob's death broke, it landed with a thud that still reverberates. The alum remembers sitting alone, scrolling through messages, hopping, irrationally, that there had been some mistake. In soaps, death is often temporary, a plot twist waiting to be undone. In real life, there are no rewrites, no surprise returns, just absence. That's when the words came, "I miss you, Bob." Not as a public statement crafted for effect, but as a whisper into the void, a way of acknowledging that grief doesn't need grand speeches. Sometimes it just needs honesty. The tribute sparked a wave of shared memories. Fellow actors, comedians, and crew members chimed in with stories that painted a fuller picture of the man behind the mic. He was the guy who sent encouraging notes after a tough episode aired. The one who cracked a joke to break tension before a live tapping. The friend who called on anniversaries of losses, remembering dates others forgot. For the General Hospital alum, Bob's passing also reopened conversations about mental health, compassion, and the responsibility that comes with visibility. Bob was an advocate for causes close to his heart, including those rooted in personal tragedy. He used humor not to deflect pain, but to transform it, to invite others into a space where laughter and vulnerability could coexist. Bob taught me that it's okay to be both, the alum shared. Strong and soft, funny and serious, public and deeply private. In a genre like daytime drama, where emotions are amplified and often judged, that lesson felt especially profound. As time moves forward, the ache dulls but never disappears. Certain songs still sting. Certain jokes still echo. And sometimes, on set between takes, the alum imagines Bob's voice chiming in with a perfectly timed quip, one that would make everyone laugh and then, somehow, feel a little braver. Legacy is a word often reserved for careers, for awards and reruns and accolades. But Bob Saget's true legacy lives in quieter places, in the way he made people feel safe, in the friendships he nurtured, in the kindness he extended when no one was watching. For those who knew him, Whether through years of friendship or brief, meaningful encounters, that legacy endures. "I miss you, Bob," the alum repeats, not as a farewell, but as a promise. A promise to carry forward the empathy he modeled, to choose generosity over cynicism, to remember that behind every role, every punchline, every headline, there is a human being longing to be understood. And in that remembering, Bob Saget is still here, living on in laughter, in love, and in the countless lives he touched simply by being himself.